Hi everyone, I'm Chai T Grande, and you can get your Drag Race fix on page 6.
She's sweet, she's spicy, she's steaming hot. It's Chai T Grande. Chai, thanks so much for being here
Hello.
today.
Hi, my love. How's it
Okay,
going?
I gotta know, how are you feeling now that your episode's aired and fans have seen your run on Drag Race UK?
It's bittersweet, right? Like I wouldn't have wanted to have left the competition at this point, but that's just the nature of the game. So on the one hand, of course, I'm really disappointed, but also looking back and reflecting on all the things I've done and that I have achieved, I'm also super proud of myself. Um, I feel like I've got some really good, strong runways to the season. And even though my performance in the girl group maybe wasn't objectively judged as being strong. I believe it was. I will die on the hill and say that I shouldn't have been in the bottom three, but that's just my opinion. And yeah, the fan support, off the back of that has been through the roof. So I'm humbled, I'm thankful, and yeah, just it's a whole roller coaster of emotions, right? Like I don't want it to come to an end in terms of the actual TV show, but that's just how the cookie has crumbled for me. And
No,
it's time to make lemonade out of lemons. I'm mixing
baby,
all my idioms.
and you are. And I'm glad you brought up the girl group challenge because I do want to talk about that. I loved your
Yeah,
verse and She Ate That. You looked
thank you.
gorgeous, first off. Bangs are your look, girl. We gotta
Right?
keep going with the bangs. They were
Yeah,
so
I
pop
love
star
that.
energy.
It's
Um,
like I love Lisa from Blackpink, so for me, it's like I was literally recreating her rock star music video look with like the fierce bang and the silver. So yeah, I that was like how I felt powerful because I look up to her so much as a Thai diva.
No, I was just gonna say your line specifically where you were saying like you're double, not half, and you making history as the first Thai queen on UK. Like,
Mhm.
what does that felt like, and what did that lyric mean for you personally?
So like being the first Thai queen on Drag Race UK is I mean it's like I'm quite literally a part of history in that sense, which is so cool to think about. I don't wake up in the morning and think today I'm like my intent is to be a representative of POCs and of Thai people. It's not that. It's just that I hope that the art and the performance and the personality that I put out there is something that people are proud of, and then want to sort of claim as being, oh, like that's a Thai representative or a mixed race representative. So it's not something that I wake up and think today I'm going to do this. It's more just like I hope I can be myself and do it to a point that people are receptive of it. But yeah, in terms of the lyrics, so the double not half lyric, it's kind of a mantra I've had in the back of my mind for a few years now. Because growing up mixed race in London, my mum's from Durham, which is a kind of a mining town of England, and my dad's from Bangkok. So growing up here, I always felt less connected to my Thai side because I can't speak Thai, and my dad used to work super long hours when we were growing up. So I really wasn't kind of getting that side of the culture, through osmosis and through learning. Growing up, I always felt less than, but now at the age of 32, um, I'm really re-embracing it, especially through my drag, because even though I might not be able to speak the language, I'm still like my paternal family are all there. The blood going through my veins is still Thai and English. I'm not less than. It's both. So that's how I kind of turned it on its head and made it double, not half, which is also kind of like a nice nod to coffees and chais and beverages. So I try to kind of mix in those puns because we're drag queens, we love a pun.
Yes, yes. And I mean, it's, you really showed your culture off so beautifully throughout the season. I mean, like, your premiere look was inspired by, like, the national flower of Thailand, obviously your
Mm-hmm.
performance in the talent show. But I also love this, like, nod to pop culture you have in a lot of your looks. Like, you had your hometown look, which drew inspiration from comic book characters. Your promo look, you said, had, like, Pokemon kind of
Yeah,
inspiration. What's kind
yeah.
of the inspiration for you also with, like, pop culture being injected into your drag?
How I do drag, like a lot of my lens is kind of the merging of things. So whether it's culture or heritage or mixing kind of high fashion with anime, pop culture with history, like I love pulling things together and seeing what comes from that gray space and turning that into a concept or a look or a performance. So I think part of Chai is definitely that merging, that blending. But in terms of pop culture, like I find huge amounts of inspiration, especially recently from K-pop and J-pop and T-pop. Like I love looking to all of those icons, XG, Blackpink, aespa, Le Seraphim. I am such a big fan of the music that they bring out and like the thought and consideration and high fashion that they all, completely execute on a daily basis throughout all of their projects. So I think that's where I'm mainly kind of getting all my sort of inspiration from at the moment. But yeah, like I said, it's always like a merging of so many different things: comic books, video games, fantasy, historical novels. It's all the above.
No, 100%. And we see it. Like, yeah, I loved scrolling through your Instagram and seeing like, the performances you've done to, like you said, Lisa, to Blackpink. It's so much
Mhm.
fun. And I mean, even your drag name, you've said, Grande is an homage to Ariana in a way.
Of
Yes.
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have
And
to ask you, favorite album or era for Ariana?
favorite album for me would have to be Sweetener.
It's such a good one.
Yeah.
If you got to perform an Ariana track like on the stage as a lip sync, which one would it be?
Into You, 100%.
Oh my
The
gosh, you
one of
know.
the one of the best pop songs to have ever been created, released. Just chef's kiss. The kind of music that I like to perform to and also listen to is very upbeat, high octane. Like I want to be dancing in the club even if I'm walking to the library. It's like that's where I come to life. So for me, Into You is just like mm, I
It's
could
so
talk
good
about
and
it.
such a good music video. It's one of
Yeah,
my favorite
yeah.
songs. You talked about your runways. You had so many looks that I loved this season. Your cuddly wuddly look literally had me like frothing at the mouth. It was so good. This week's runway event, this like deconstructed Parisian tailoring look, you had
Hmm.
mentioned on Instagram that you had some like last minute mishaps getting it ready. Can you walk us through like what happened with that outfit and like how you adapted it once you realized you
Yeah.
couldn't do the full original concept?
Yeah, so with the headpiece, I had just completely, I was basically really overweight with the stuff that I brought to Drag Race, and we're all given an amount so that it's like a fair playing field. And I just kind of accidentally left it in the confiscated bag, so that was why I didn't have the headpiece. And then with the bolo ties, so it was meant to be like a functioning mechanism where I would pull it, and the dress when I was first meant to come out the runway was meant to be a gown, and then the string would pull up the dress to what it was out on the runway as I wore it. So basically, one of the strings I had just pulled a bit too forcefully and kind of practice, and I just had to kind of commit then to it either being low or high. And I felt like the more interesting silhouette was the kind of the ruffle because it kind of gave midwestern sort of almost like cowboy with the sort of the pannier silhouette with the bolo ties. So to me, it made sense to kind of commit to the shorter one versus the longer one. And thank God I did because I lip synced in it, so I needed to be able to move.
She needed to have access. She needed.
Yeah.
This episode, I thought it was also really beautiful. You kind of talked about how you had gone through a tough year, you had gone through a breakup, a feeling of like a loss of self worth. How did your drag kind of help you to rebuild your confidence and, going through this competition?
Yeah, I mean, there's two things there. I think my drag, many people describe their drag as an armor, and for me, it quite literally is something that I can put on, and even if I'm having a really really bad day or a not so sort of confident day as Jake, when I put it on and become Chai, no one can touch me. That's kind of how I feel. But the thing about Drag Race is that you can't just separate the two because you're under such a microscope and you're being pushed physically and mentally with all these challenges, and they're long grueling days of work, so you can't just decompartmentalize and go to one or the other because the show really is about the combined product of you as a person and also you as a performer. So I think that's probably what was starting to come through in the recent episodes where my inner sort of dialogue or demons, if you will, that I kind of battle as Jake out of drag, I think they were starting to seep through and impact my confidence and my performance as Chai because it's like I said, it's a pressure cooker in there. So you've got to have your wits about you, and it will put the most strong sort of mentally strong person. It will push them because that is just the nature of filming what we film. So yeah, I think there is no separating it, and I want to do the work that I need to do to be able to properly heal from that past situation that I talked about on the show. Um, I'm obviously it's a shame that it had an impact because that's my past impacting my present and my future. But I need to heal properly from it. It was a 7-year relationship and it didn't end very nicely either. So it was only a few months before I got the call. So I still very much was dealing with that. But I'm proud enough that I was able to at least put it aside for a few weeks, right? So I could, get through, have fun, and when times got tough, that's when it came to the surface. And we're all human, and you can't help that. And everyone's got their demons. So
Yeah.
we
No, I
work, we move, we we progress.
Yes, yes. Okay, I have a little bit of time left with you. I just want to ask you a quick question. So, you have
Yeah.
mentioned that you worked in PR before, or still do in a little bit.
Hmm.
If we had to open the library just real quick on your season 7 sisters, which
Yeah.
sister do you think could use a PR manager the most, and which do you think is her own best publicist?
Oh. Paige is definitely her own best publicist. She is so switched on and she knows exactly what to do. She makes the most of every situation, whether it's a shoot, even if she and I are out for drinks and we bump into Tiara Sky on a night out, her phone is out and we're recording a TikTok. She is so switched on and I completely respect and admire her so much. So that would be my answer to the second question. Who needs PR? I mean, my absolute best friend in the world, I'm going to say Pasty because I would hope that their PR manager would advise to give her some heel straps so that the shoes stay on. Because when she's got shoe straps on, she's going to be unstoppable.
I'm dead. I'm dead. And and did you watch Drag Race Philippines Slaysian Royale this season or no?
I think I have 2 episodes left just because it's been
Girl,
so busy for a few
I
weeks.
just want
But
to let you know that we are rooting. If they ever do a season 2, it was iconic. We need you on that season. Your sister Something Wong held it down in season 1. We need you there season 2. So would you ever do it if there was a season 2?
yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, I'm like so humbled that you would even kind of consider me for that. And, other people have said it as well, because those girls do not play. So to even be considered as being part of that realm is really, really cool and really touching. But yeah, of course. I mean, I would love to do it. The challenges are so good, and it's just like what a way to celebrate being Asian, other than than Slaysian Royale. I love Mama Pow as well. And yeah, just it was such a good season. I can't wait to finish it. Actually, I need to get back onto that the minute I have some time.
You're in for a treat. Well, Chai, thank you so much for joining us and spilling all the chai
Thank
tea. We
you.
appreciate you as always. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Speak to you soon.